The place to begin is really understanding what resources you have internally at your organization. It's making sure, first and foremost, that you have what we call a spark plug leader or spark plug leaders in place. These are people within your organization that understand that there's an urgency to improve the results that you're already achieving within your organization. It's an understanding by those leaders that you have the capacity to actually implement outcome thinking into outcome management. And it's an understanding that the timing is right for your organization to move this forward. Once you have those in place, it's critically important to understand what the key question is that you're trying to answer as an agency. So is that question, how do we increase the number of kids who we serve that are actually graduating? Or perhaps it's the question, how do we make sure that our clients are actually keeping the jobs that we set them up to apply for and to get? Or perhaps if you're a performing arts program, it has to do with how do we make sure that we have sustainable funding given that our audience is aging? So it's knowing that you have the leadership in place, and it's knowing that you're asking a key question that you can then work backward and know that you have an outcome framework in place. Often one of the most effective ways to collect useful data is actually to look internally to your agency for what data is already being collected. So it's very common for an agency to be sitting on reams of useful data that just isn't pulled out and actually used or managed by. So that is certainly the first step. Once you look into what the agency already collects, you can then identify where the gaps are. And where those gaps are may mean that you need to go to your clients and either survey them or figure out some sort of assessment that gets at answering that critical question that will allow you to know whether you're achieving your results. Using the data effectively is the most critical component of outcome thinking and management. So you want to make sure that you're able to utilize the data that you've now spent a lot of effort collecting in ways that will cause programmatic improvements for your clients. So let me point to an example. You may have a program that you have made assumptions about for many years even, that it took a certain amount of time, a certain dosage, a certain duration of your program in order to result in the types of outcomes that you've been seeking for your core clients. Once you have that data and you use it, you may actually realize that you could provide significantly less amount of service to your clients and achieve the same results. We recently had a client that went through this exact thing, and they were able to cut the time spent and the money spent on a certain program by almost a third because they had the data and they were able to use it. Your program staff are the critical component in making sure that outcome thinking and management is implemented. So you want to make sure that you have buy-in from them on two levels. The first level is ensuring that they can influence from the very beginning that definition of success. This isn't just the leader at the top deciding what an organization or a program's success looks like. It really takes everyone from top to bottom in an organization to clarify that and make sure that the organization can achieve it. Secondly, if the program staff, especially the line staff, understand that the effort that they're taking to collect data, to input data, to analyze data is actually leading to the use of that data for program improvements, you'll be much more likely to not only gain their buy-in, but to gain their ability to help you draw out those important conclusions.